Well, hey everybody, welcome to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? You just have to watch and see. I got one of these cleaner bins or bladders or whatever you want to call them tipped over here because it was, oh, that's gross. What kind of, well, I don't know what to do with that. I didn't realize there was that much gunk in the bottom of this one. I mean, the good news is I can probably hose this out and it'll be just fine. The reason it's got to be just fine is, well, I have decided I'm going to split into whatever clean bladders that I have. I like that way the best. That's kind of probably obvious after last video, but I got to get as many of these together as I can, put them on pallets, and this is the method I'm going to use. Look at that. Dried stuff just peels right off. Let the groundhogs eat it. Well, might let this just sit and dry for a while. Because in the meantime, I've got these two bladders that are perfectly clean. I threw the chunks in it that I'm going to use for burning in this barn. And then this one's got the black gunk in it. I don't know. Can I transfer all this? What do I do? These blue ones are pretty much the cleanest ones. Once this crap in the bottom dries, you can just peel it right off. So I'll just tip this over and let it sit for a night. This pallet's not the best, but I'll use it until it's completely destroyed. You guys can probably tell it's evening right now. I've been waiting for things to cool off before I came out. Today is Sunday, and I typically don't do this, but it's been ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Northeast Ohio, I typically do not like to complain about the weather because what are you going to do about it, right? That's pretty much junked. Let's try and fix that. Yeah, like I said, it's Northeast Ohio. I don't live here because I like the heat. You know, I've said that before. And I'm not going to complain about the cold. I'm just going to put more clothes on. But when it gets hot, you can only take so many clothes off before somebody calls the cops. And I'm not complaining about your typical summer. The only people that have seen a summer hotter than this are 76 years old. Yeah, I guess 76 years ago in Northeast Ohio, was what, that's 1940s, I think, or something. Anyway, they had a summer with 12 days in a row above 90 degrees. Can you imagine that? So heat is nothing new around here, but man, it sure makes things difficult to get things done. Well, that's it for tonight. I did all that just to get ready to work tomorrow. Start early in the morning Monday, see what I can get done. I'll split up the last of this red oak. Yeah, and I've been trying to do some property maintenance when I can. I got the whole property mowed on, when was that? I don't even know what day. Saturday. Did I do that yesterday? I think I did. Yes. I've got trimmer problems too. Let me tell you about something. Let's go up to the garage. I had a couple of DeWalt trimmer heads that just died and I needed to replace. So I thought I would go and try one of these things. They sent me one of these little wire brush type trimmer heads. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for this. Look at the size of the hole on that thing. Here's the trimmer shaft right here. That's the size of the trimmer shaft, and then that's not going on there ever. If you wanted to, you could probably drill that out, but no. I'm sure this is made in China, and they probably just have smaller shafts in China. Yeah, so I'll tell you about products when people send me products, but I'll also tell you about crap. Absolutely, it's my job. If I buy something and it doesn't turn out to be what it should be, I'm gonna let you guys know. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, next morning, and yeah, that's dried out pretty well. These things have some kind of a latex in them, I found out. I'm not really too worried about it. It does clean out pretty easily. It just becomes rubber and peels out. So that's nice, you know. I gotta have a goal. And the goal is really to get this area completely cleaned up. I'm almost there. I just got a couple of scrap pieces over here. Maybe I'll get some good firewood out of that stuff, maybe. But either way, it'll go to my parents or it'll go, you know, that's the process. Get this cleaned up. I've got 2 more pallets of red oak over there, and then I've got a little partial pallet left in here. So let's get this split up. We got a bin ready, you know, let's just go ahead and fill it. Okay, viewer suggestions. Love you guys. First of all, I took 1 pallet off. Somebody suggested to lower that 1 pallet because now the rounds, well, the pallet table, whatever, is level or more level with the deck of the splitter, which is good because when I get a big chunk and I need to set half of it over, I'm not lifting it up, I'm just pushing it over. That's a good suggestion. Another, and these are the ones. It's so simple and it's so obvious. Leave the forks right there in the pallet while I'm splitting. First of all, it keeps the rounds from falling off that side, but the most important reason is I'm not wasting time picking the forks back up and putting in the pallet. When I get done with that, I just go. It saves probably 30 seconds or more per pallet for sure. Definitely. Yeah, simple, effective solutions. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I have run out of rounds. And that's a good thing. So I was just taking a water break and I got a phone call. My tree service is coming with a load of logs. I am just happy. Happy, happy, happy. Oh, can't wait till he gets here. Figure the best thing I can do is sit up here in the shade next to the road, just wait for him. Well, that was freaking cool. that made my day, really did. Because, you know, you can never get enough. Oh, it's an exciting day. Yes, it is. And with that comes more thinking. Now that I got the process that I like the most sorted out, I need to sort all of it out. I need to get organized in here. It's a mess. I mean, it's a mess. Look at all this. This over here, that's not acceptable. There's just stuff lying around. That's where I'm gonna stack wood, I guess. I don't know. I gotta figure out what spaces I wanna use for what, and I gotta put things where they belong. Let's start small. This is a little pile of chunks that I was saving for myself because they'll fit in my wood burner. Let's clean it up now. Next, I want to get all of the production stuff, the splitter and everything I need to do to make firewood into this corner. Why? I just like this corner. Maybe it's because there's the electricity along the wall. Oh, I've got that door back here where I can open it up and create some cross breeze. Yeah, this corner is good. So let's get it all moved in, just like that. Feels about right. Yep, I think this is good. Plenty of room to stand here and work, plenty of room to load the pallets. Gonna put my parents' splits over here, have the plastic bladder right here, split into that. Boom. I don't think I need anything back here. Maybe I'll throw the trash. I don't know. Really, everything needs to be accessible from the front because now that this area is all cleared out, I'm moving the trailer over here, and I think it will be a much better spot. It'll be out of the way, and it'll give me access from everywhere in front. So let's move it just like that. Yeah, that's better. I feel like the positioning of this trailer right here could be very effective at some point. So now all it really comes down to is this end of the barn. This end of the barn I kind of foresee as the stacking area. So process over there into the little bladders, bring them over here and stack them in the totes. Then the all-terrain pallet jack takes those totes out to the field. Just, you know, boom, boom, boom. I like it. I could even use this space over here. I mean, I need to keep this open so I can truck in and out with rounds, split them, and then bring, you know, it's got to stay open. But once the bladders are full, there's nothing that says I can't bring an IBC tote right in next to it and stack it right here. Options. I like options. Well, I'm out of time for today. And quite frankly, yeah, it's getting hot, really hot. So I got these barns, I'll tell you what. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Believe it or not, and I'm sure some of you can really understand, this situation right here is the main reason I like using these plastic bins. It's early morning. I just had my coffee, and this is time where I would just be sitting on the couch, you know, waiting for everybody to wake up. Everybody's still asleep. And I just feel like it's not time wasted. It's not time wasted. You know, relaxation is important too, but this is relaxing to me. And I don't know, there's just this, I don't know, it's a Zen thing, I guess. I don't know, if you know, you know. That brings me joy. Yeah, neatly stacked. You know, it's never as much as I think it is. Fill up these, I'm getting more of an idea. You know, I'm learning the firewood business, right? But there's some things in life that you apply to everything, no matter what you're doing, you know. honesty, dependability, kindness, blah, blah, blah. You know, all that good stuff. But there's also principles that you apply for yourself to things in the way you do it. And there's, my wife and I were just talking about this morning. She's a brilliant, beautiful woman, by the way. Maybe someday she'll let me put her on the channel. Anyway, so she does exist. She's from Canada. No. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. Okay, so we were talking about this morning. It's your effort to joy ratio. Okay, ideally, it should be at least 1-to-1. The amount of effort you put in should equal the amount of joy you get out of it. Doesn't always happen. There's a lot of have-tos we have in life that we have to do we don't really like doing. But when it comes down to something like this, what's the effort worth versus what's the joy worth? And I'm going to stack this anyway. So because I enjoy coming down really early in the morning after having my coffee, and I kind of picture this fall, you know, my daughter goes back to school. As soon as she gets off, I can come down here. Maybe it'll still be dark. Well, at some point it will definitely still be dark. And I'll just sit down here and stack firewood, you know, just a good way to start the day. So, you know, I mean, effort to joy, you got to do things the way you like to do them. You know, that's why everybody does firewood differently. You know, that's why. That's exactly why. Because everybody has different ways of getting joy out of it. We certainly wouldn't do it if we didn't like it. So anyway, on to the next thing. The final task, in here anyway, is to get this end of the barn the way it needs to be. I need to be able to utilize this space much more efficiently. So just like before, not going to make you watch me do it. Let's get it done just like that. That's better. That's way better. This whole bay here is now open. And I got most everything kind of squished back into the last bay. Got to have room for it. You know, you got to put it somewhere. There's also a bat in here. He just flew over there. I disturbed him a little bit. So I got a bat in the barn. I got barn swallows. I got bats. I got everything. Oh, that was a lot of work. Well, remember at the beginning of this video, I said I need a goal. I need to clean this up. Well, that's the only thing that hasn't happened. Oh, I got to do it. I don't want to, but I have to do it. So I'm going to kind of kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to move the cutting deck over into the shade, and then I'm going to start bringing these little pieces one by one over and cutting them up. That'll at least be something. This is when you pull your back out. When you get mad, and then you try to do things fast because you're mad. Is it perfect? No, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was. And now the whole pile of chunks is over here where I can work on it little at a time. That electric saw just, no, there's no place. I did okay on those, but it was done. No more on the electric. I'm gonna have to break out the big dog for these guys. The best thing to happen today is this tree service score, that's for sure. And you see how if you go back and if you've been with me for a long time, or you see where I started thinking about all this, I put that service entrance in as soon as I could, because see how well it worked? It's fantastic. And he liked it. He's like, yeah, this is great. So standing order, whenever they've got wood that they're in my area, they can come through here. They don't even have to call. They can just dump it right here. And he was supposed to have another load, but you know, they're cutting down trees. They're busy. I don't know. Anyway, this is here. It's a match made in heaven, guys. Firewood industry and tree services. You gotta be good to your tree service guys. Yeah, it's ugly stuff, but I'll make it beautiful. I sure will. That's all I got today, guys. Oh, at least I got that area cleaned up. That was the goal. And I got a whole lot more cleaned up too, and a lot ready, more ready. You know what's gonna happen next? A whole lot of cutting. Yep, that's what I'll be doing when I'm doing more stuff.